Hey guys, this is Stu, and this is going to be my entry video into another group build I'm entering, which will be starting on the 1st of November, and I think it runs through right till April the 30th, 2017. It's the Leopard group build. Now that basically is getting hosted by Sebastian Schoof of Dutch Modelling over on the Pricks of Plastics Facebook page. And I know I've got other builds going on, such as the M group build. I've got my First World War One group build, which is near completion, and also the Bandai group build to do, but I thought I've not done a Leopard yet, and therefore I thought I'd throw my hat into the ring and have a crack at it myself as well. And I had the pleasure of meeting Sebastian, whose channel is Dutch Modelling, so check it out, at Telford last year. His enthusiasm is just unbounded, and he's a lovely fella. I really got on very like a house on fire with him when I met him, and his models are superb. And I mean, he doesn't often do very many updates on what he's doing. He's just recently posted one, so check it out. And you want to see some of the quality of his builds. They are superb. And his dioramas, well, words speak for themselves. Yeah, as I say, check out Dutch Modelling if you haven't already. And he also does a regular Friday night hangout. So if you want to pop along, by all means join in. They'll welcome you. So I know Mike attends the hangout as well, so I've been on a few in the past, but unfortunately I can't get on there at the moment because I'm having problems with my PC. I'm going to have to get a memory upgrade, so as soon as I've done that I'll get on a few hangouts. So there you go. Not only his but others as well. So that's why I've not been able to join. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting off the beaten track here, guys. As I say, this is going to be my entry into the Leopard group build. Now, basically, it can be any Leopard tank or any vehicle with a Leopard chassis, such as the Leopard or the Marder. Now, the Marder, I think, is the missile vehicle. As I say, it can be any vehicle with a Leopard chassis. Now, I did think of doing one which I pointed out to Seb last night, but apparently it doesn't qualify, and that's the Halbernitz howitzer. Although it's got a similar chassis, it does not qualify. So my second entry would be this one, which, believe it or not, was the first ever version of the Leopard to enter service back in, I think, around about 65 or 66. And as you can see here, it was learnt from the lessons of the Tiger and Panther tank, and if you can see the chassis does look very similar to the late G model. So there is a little bit of thoroughbred and inheritance of the Panther in this vehicle, as well as the Tiger. So it was from the lessons learned in that this two vehicle was developed, and as you know, the army was absolutely decimated at the end of the war. And in 1955 they actually entered with NATO in West Germany. So this was their first primary light tank. Is it a light tank? I think, was it medium tank? I think it's a medium tank. I will actually read out the history on the instructions on this vehicle as well, so sort of give you a bit more of a background, because I haven't really done a lot of research on it, so sorry, Seb. But anyway, without further ado, as you can see here, this is an old kit. I mean, it was one of their first releases of their armour range back in 1968. It was then the frontline vehicle, so anything that I read on the history of this, you'll have to bear that in mind. Again, the beautiful white box art does come with a commander's crewman on it. Not bad. I wouldn't say it's brilliant, but not bad. Again, you've got the old rubber vinyl tracks, which I won't be using. I shall be sourcing Frulls or any other aftermarket tracks, and I'll be ordering metal barrel as well, and maybe some etched just to upgrade the kit a bit more. Okay, anyway, if you want to get hold of this kit, the kit number is 35064/2200. That's 35064/2200. So if you want to freeze frame it, by all means do. If you want to get hold of this kit, I sourced this particular one off eBay for about £15. Yes, that was including post, so I did a very good deal on that. Mind you, I just recently saw somebody got hold of the old Cyber Hobby Whitman tank for £62, and that is a steal. I think his name was Simon Jones, so well done, Simon. You got yourself a real steal there, because I've seen that go to about £449. So well done, bud. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get on with this. Unfortunately, all the information is Japanese because this is a Japanese import. Again, you've got the box art on the side here, and in the range of the vehicles you could then get hold of, including what was then Centurion, which unfortunately I don't think is no longer in production. And to be honest with you, to me, if you're watching this, please re-release this one. That would be so nice to get a 135th Centurion Mark V. Now, I know AFE Club do them, but they do the Israeli versions and an Australian version, which was, I think, out in Vietnam. But it would be just so nice if you re-release this again and maybe retooled it. Anyway, we'll open up the instruction sheet and go through that first, as I normally do with armour kits. I'll just pop the box up the top here, on top of the Sherman box. And again, you've got the familiar white box art, which is on the front of the instruction manual, and interesting below you've got some stills taken of the actual vehicle on exercise. And as I say, I'm going to read this one out to you. As is. Defeated in World War II, Imperial Germany completely collapsed and its territory was divided into two spheres: liberalist, which is the free world, and communist. Then in 1955, West Germany was admitted to the Western European Alliance, and the West German Defence Forces was re-established as a new member of the NATO powers. As West Germany is adjacent to the communist sphere, which it was then, before the Iron Wall came down, problems on national defence was much thought of. Defend the borderline, an armoured unit was established. The German techniques by which the Tiger, Panther and other excellent tanks were produced was succeeded by this Leopard tank that appeared in 1961 in West Germany. Leopard also had the name of Standard Panther. It was prototyped in 61 and 62 and was formally adopted by the West German Army in 1963, prior to the adoption of the French AMX-30, which obviously was their first armoured vehicle. In 1964, the West German Army placed an order for 1,400 of this tank, and the first tank was mass-produced, was delivered by Krauss Maffei in Munich, but it doesn't actually indicate when, so I'm estimating 65, 66. The crew of the tank is 4, and the L7A 105mm gun made in Britain is used as its main gun, which I didn't know, which is common to the tank's native forces and has the same destroying power as that of the British Centurion, USAM 60 and Swiss PZ 61. Its shooting sight is based on a rangefinder system, and it can shoot a target at a distance of 1,000 metres even at night with simultaneous use of the infrared rays. Its engine is a water-cooled 10-cylinder multi-engined Mercedes-Benz engine. The maximum high speed is 65 km an hour. Not only diesel, oil can also... Oh, sorry, I'll start that again. Not only diesel oil, but also gasoline and fuel for jet engines can be used. I didn't even know that. Its chassis and body is watertight so that it can cross rivers at a depth of 4 metres underwater. Thus, this tank is a modern, excellent manoeuvrability tank of which importance is attached. Well, it was then. Obviously, it's been surpassed by the latter versions of the Leopard 1 and obviously the new improved Leopard 2. But then it was the forefront of the modern tanks. Okay, so that shows you the date of this kit. Right, we'll get on to the main crux of the kit, which is the sprues and the actual upper and lower hull and turret of the vehicle. Right, first off, I will show you the wheel nuts and obviously the tow ropes. Yeah, a little bit crude, I must admit. I might well source some aftermarket for the tow ropes on that basis. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Nice detail on the tow ropes, though, I must admit, but there you go. Next up, you've got the grills which go on the side. One unfortunately has fallen off. The actual engine fan, which you can see here through the mesh engine grill, but I'll be using etched brass. Rear lights, okay, obviously engine hatches. You've got your travel lock here, which you can see. I don't know if you can see that, guys, right there. I'll get it into shot. That's your travel lock, okay. And what else? Tools on the side here. Rear plate, and I have to say I love the anti-slip casting texture on that. That is gorgeous, and for a kit of this period, that is not bad. Okay, and then obviously you've got some of the suspension arms. Oh, maybe this is part of the suspension arms, I don't know. And again, this hatch here, you've got the, well, I think it's the driver's hatch. Some nice casting texture on it as well. Again, very nicely caught. Next sprue, you've got sub-assemblies of the searchlight and ranger finder here. Okay, let's see here where I've got my thumb there. I'm not quite sure if what these are. Maybe they're air filters or sights, I don't know. Part of the mantlet, and then there's part of the rear basket here. Machine gun, smokestacks all lined up along here, and then obviously you've got the two halves of the barrel. There is some nice casting texture on it, I must admit, but I will be sourcing metal one from RB Models. And then obviously you've got the front mantlet, which you see here with the two submachine guns. That, I have to say, get it into focus, is a lovely bit of casting texture on there. That is gorgeous. I really am impressed at that. Then obviously you've got your optical sights along here with the cupola. Okay, so that's that sprue there. Then there's your two antennae. Little bit on the thick side, I must admit, but I don't know, I'll have to do some research, and if they're not that thick, then I may well use sprue, stretch sprue. Next one up is all your running gear, nice and crisp. That's your sprocket, your idler wheel, and idler wheels, and your running wheels. Beautifully caught there. Okay, and then obviously you've got your sub wheels there. Okay, nice and crisp, and for a kit again of this age, that is not bad. Okay, and then we're coming on to the tracks themselves, the rubber tracks, which you get with most of my armour kits. Again, I won't be using these. They are a nightmare to assemble. Yes, you use vinyl glue, as Mike Cohen has indicated, but they are a pig to paint, because half the time the paint just peels off. So I will be sourcing some Frawl tracks or any other aftermarket tracks for this kit. Not only that, you don't get the sag with it as well, because they do go on a little bit on the tight side. I've found to my detriment in the past. And then you've got the two halves of the turret which go together, and again, look at the casting texture on this and the anti-slip surface. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautifully, beautifully caught. And again, for a kit of this age, that is nice detail. Very, very nicely caught there, guys. There you go. Beautifully caught. And there we go. And then obviously you've got the grill for the engine grill, which is mesh. I won't be using this, I'll be using etched brass. I think you get an aftermarket etched brass set. I'm sure Edward do them. And then obviously we've got the two halves of the hull. You've got the lower hull with all the suspension arms here moulded on, and obviously this was when you could actually put a little motor inside and radio control it. But I'll be filling those gaps up with either sprue or filler. And then obviously you've got the Tamiya welded detail for the company name, and as you can see here, 1968. Sand that off, I won't have that on there. Okay, so that's that. And then obviously final part of the kit is the upper hull, and again, Just look at that casting and anti-slip surface, and then obviously you've got the side plates there, really crisp, really beautifully caught. And then obviously you can see the thoroughbred heritage of the Panther G on this hull as well. It's very similar, so obviously learnt a lot of lessons from it. And then obviously you've got the optical sights there for the driver, for when he's actually enclosed inside the vehicle. But as I say, I love the welding texture on this upper hull. It's beautifully caught. You can see it there, guys. Lovely caught, beautifully captured there. And then finally, obviously you've got the decals which come with it, and unfortunately they are as thick as soup, and they're probably going to be a nightmare to bed down. So again, what I may well do is see if I can source some aftermarket decals. Okay, so there you have it. That is the original Leopard 1 Kampfpanzer by Tamiya. I love the surface casting texture on this kit, and yeah, it's a bit basic, I mean, but obviously this is where the aftermarket comes into play, so I'll be using that to upgrade the kit. I know Mike Cohen's ordered some in, and he's ordered a metal barrel, which he indicated on his last video. And by the way, buddy, that Turndorf video, awesome, absolutely awesome. Fine tribute to your son Nicholas. And it's good to see you getting your mojo back again, because I think we'd all be lost without it. Anyway, enough said on that matter. As I say, it's not bad for the kit of its time, considering this was first produced in 1968. So for that time, this is a pretty good kit. Again, as I say, with the casting textures, particularly on this turret, it's beautiful. I really like that. Unfortunate thing is the barrel's in two halves, as was the case with most of the Tamiya kits then, so that shows its date. But it still stands up well, I think. I think if it's anything like the Sherman I'm currently building for the M Group build, this is really going to fall together. So there you go. That's the entry vid for the Leopard Group build. But as I say, if you want to enter it, just go along to their Facebook site, have a word with the guys and Seb, or you can reach him on his channel and Dutch Modelling, and put your hat in the ring, as I have. So there you go. I'm really looking forward to building this kit too, so there you go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the vid. Until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon.